Hey guys, welcome back to Three Stupid Dawgz.
Okay, I'm falling apart here, man. I'm trying
Eric's
my best.
dog
All right.
is the dog that got stuck inside and you were kicking out the front lawn.
I just got spayed, dude. I just got spayed. You're not giving me enough credit here.
He is he's the menace of the town or the neighborhood. You just gotta beat him with a stick every now and then.
Not anymore.
I think spades for girls and neuters for boys.
And that's what I try to tell you about. But first of all, I don't see gender, you absolute piece of shit. Wow, Abel.
It's not gender, it's your biological sex.
Oh, wow. Okay, Mr. fucking pastor over here. I didn't realize. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Okay, Abel's like, what did I get myself into? I don't want to be a part of this anymore. You guys are discrediting my character.
I'm just over here feeling like the Joker, like, okay, why don't you guys give me a call when you want to start taking things a little more seriously?
And that's what we're not going to do here on the pod, guys, because this is Three Stupid Dawgz, and the stupider the better. That's what I always say.
Yes. Guys, Eric thinks he can beat me at Pokemon Go. I don't believe him.
Okay, so this one time, he tried to beat me with 3 Mewtwo's, and I whipped out my Tyranitar, and I beat his ass. Bam! Another Mewtwo down. Bam!
Could you explain that for the people that don't play Pokemon, why that is so funny?
Yeah. I was just joshing you around. I could totally have murked you, but I was being nice.
Oh, that's what they say. It did go, it was best 3 out of 5. He did beat me best 3 out of 5, but he doesn't think that I've been preparing this entire time. And so the next time we play, he's going down. He's not ready. He's not ready for the thunder.
Oh, man. I can't fucking wait. It'll be awesome. Guys, any updates on that pyramid stuff? I heard it jumped up to an 85% possibility.
Pyramid scheme?
No, not the pyramid scheme that Eric was trying to get us on. The fucking, the tunnels beneath the pyramid.
I have not heard a single thing about it.
Before we talk about the tunnels beneath the pyramids, I do have to bring up one Pokemon Go related thing. The best fairy type in Pokemon Go is Papanasty. But
hey,
anyways,
we love our trans icon.
Yeah, exactly. He loves Chapel Road. It's great, and I do too. Yeah. So I mean, I can't even be offended. Pink Pony Club all day, baby.
I knew you were gonna say Pink Pony Club.
It's so good. Okay, what about Casual? That's a very good song as well. Okay,
I don't know how it goes.
I don't in the passenger seat. Eating you out as a casual. Now it's very good. You guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna jerk off to it. But the aliens, they maybe made the pyramids. No, it's about the caverns underneath the pyramids.
Yeah, you're supposed to do the ancient aliens bit of aliens.
They weren't confirmed. They was not confirmed. There's one company that does the radar tech into the ground that says potentially this is the case. But there has been no excavation or anything of that nature to prove that that's the case. The
Egyptian government is really sketchy and reluctant about who they let go around the pyramids and study. So,
but they let Did you hear that they're gonna let Mr. Beast go to the pyramids?
Yeah, because Mr. Beast is a millionaire. They don't care if he's not there to do anything scientific. He's there as a tourist, basically.
He was swimming in the waters in the pyramid, like he was fucking around in the pyramid. Yeah, he was fucking around there 2 years ago or some shit.
So is he gonna go check real quick if they have fucking underground caverns?
No, they don't care.
They don't give a shit.
Or do they need like a cave diver, like one of those crazy ass guys? Those fucking
anyone that's actually qualified to go study and do anything there, they won't let in.
Yeah. Or they're gonna do it. They're gonna do something internally because if there's any gold or anything like that, it's like, yeah, fucking, I don't want to let some American or some dirty Canadian come and discover this. I'm gonna fucking discover it.
Back in the day when they used to do excavations, it was archaeologists, all that sort of stuff. But also, as far as I'm aware, a lot of people fucking rummage the pyramids.
Yeah, not even foreigners. A lot of local Egyptians did that too. Like people that traveled to Egypt said they'd find mashed up mummy remains being sold in bazaars because it was sold as a miracle elixir cure-all or some shit.
Yeah, it's fucking absolutely insane is all I gotta say, yeah.
The first people to loot some of the tombs in Egypt weren't always foreigners. Sometimes it was Egyptians themselves.
Yep. Yeah, dude. It's just people. Thousands of years pass. Can you imagine that too? Because when the pyramids first were built, there's no way in fucking hell anybody...
They were already ancient by the time of modern Egyptians or like the later half of the Egyptian civilization, it was already ancient to them by then. They didn't even know who built them or why.
But also they built the pyramids in such a way that they anticipated people to break in and like try to steal shit.
They used to be covered in a glossy limestone, and over the years, those were all chipped off and sold.
Oh yeah, they're booby trapped as a motherfucker.
Yeah, the Sphinx and the pyramids used to be painted too, I think.
Whoa.
So Graham Hancock has a thing called Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. I kind of go.
I watched part of his show. It was entertaining.
It was interesting. I didn't watch all of it. Same thing. I was busy with other bullshit, but there's some stuff too, because there's a lot of like, it is weird that the mainstream geologist or archaeologists have like, they don't want to change what could be, like the possibility that there's some interesting facts that there's early water erosion, that might be older, that might put certain people's discovery, like might delete that and might have to put someone else's a new discovery. So it's like, I understand why they probably are doing it, but at the same time it's like, shouldn't we know the truth if that is the possibility?
He says the mainstream community, I think realistically, more in the case, it tends to be the local Egyptian government just wants to control the narrative of how Egypt came to be, at least regarding Egyptian society, culture, and the ancient civilization. Because, like, the answer you get differs depending on what country and what civilizations you talk about. Like, this is slightly unrelated, but I read this article recently about an altar found in Guatemala, deep in what is considered Mayan territory. This altar had a bunch of design quirks and traits reminiscent of the Mexican city Teotihuacan. But in Teotihuacan, it's this ancient city near Mexico City. And that place was ancient even by the time the Aztecs rolled up and started like inhabiting Mexico. So yeah, to this day, like it's kind of still up to debate by archaeologists, like who built Teotihuacan and why. But the discovery shows that basically Teotihuacan's society or culture made its way as far down as Guatemala somehow.
I still argue, and then of course here's like a classic argument, just because we're talking about the pyramids. It'd be fascinating if there is an entire underground, fucking labyrinth built. Would I be surprised? Not necessarily. Of course, I genuinely believe that the pyramids not just could, but of course were built and constructed by human ingenuity. I think that we're discrediting the labor force that they had during that time. And this is obviously like an unrelated discussion, but of course, since we're talking about the pyramids, this is something that has to be brought up. And I genuinely believe we're discrediting the labor force, the access to knowledge and information that they did have. They developed architecture. They had fucking, standard math, if not, fucking calculus. They could have built the pyramids exactly the way they did and either force everyone to work on them over a long time. Because we're just like, oh yeah, of course they didn't fucking make it over a weekend. It's like, no, dude, we're talking decades. Are we talking a century? Possibly. There's a possibility it's taken a century for them to build the pyramids. And can you imagine generations, dude? Can you imagine for 100 years, every generation is just fucking slave to building the pyramid? It's disgusting. It's horrible. It's problematic. But the fact that to this day, we're like, oh, it's probably aliens. It's impossible. There's no way anyone could have fucking made that shit. It's like, that just shows you how disgusting the powers that be were to force, or maybe I want to imagine, optimistically, I want to imagine that they weren't forced to do it and that their entire economy revolved around them building the pyramid, and that perpetuated all kinds of, it perpetuated barter and trade and all that sort of shit, but who knows?
I think it's got away from aliens and gone to more of a civilization that was
precursor civilizations.
Yeah, precursor civilization that got wiped out. I think the alien thing is fun, but yeah, no, I think it's more of like a civilization that got wiped out and that just stood the test of time, and we just fucking claimed it as ours.
That's basically what happened to Teotihuacan. That's basically what happened there. The city was old by then. Then the Aztecs just rolled up and like, well, I guess we live here now.
Because, there are pyramids that were built, after those ones, and they mimic it. But the problem is the main three are built so differently, and this overall design is, imperfect in structure. So that's why it's like, okay, other ones, yes, they have built. There's like a bunch of pyramids.
It's the fact these pyramids are also lined up with the constellations and shit, right?
Yeah, they're lined up with some stars in the sky. They were lined up with them, yeah. That was a big thing that's got like the people just fixated on them.
And then one thing that I kind of subscribe to, but I'm not too sure, was that like if you did the perimeter times the height or whatever, it gave you the formula for the speed of light. But that also is like, then when it comes to number stuff like that, you can manipulate things to make them serve your purpose, you know.
It looks like he's going to verify that.
Ah, come on.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk a little bit more about Teotihuacan is basically that place also has pyramids of its own. It's got like the Temple of the Sun and the Temple of the Moon. I remember I first learned about that place because I think it was mentioned in Ancient Aliens, because like always they're like, who built the society? Was it the aliens? Blah, blah. But it's fascinating that a lot of ancient American history is just lost to time because various reasons. Like I did not realize until some time ago that the Mayan civilization had been around for so long that by the time the Spaniards came to America and started like exploring and conquering the place, the Mayan civilization had already collapsed centuries prior.
You want to hear something also crazy, was that in the rainforest, there was also another society, and during those fires in the rainforest, they discovered pyramids and like a lost civilization that was pretty fucking
oh yeah, they're all over the Latin America.
Yeah, they were pretty advanced, but like an early Spanish settler like went and traveled and talked about it, and then like him and some other people may have like spread a crazy, like some crazy disease that they were just not their immune system could not combat, and it wiped them out. So when people went to go travel down there like 20, 30 years later or whatever, or 10 years later, they were all gone. They're like, this motherfucker lied. Eric West over here fucking telling me directions to go to this new place, and there's nothing here. There's a bunch of crazy monkeys.
I'm just imagining some Spaniards in a bunch of armor crawling through the jungle, and they'll be like, we lost, man. We goddamn motherfucking lost.
Yeah,
Okay, I looked it up, and like literally, I don't know if this is a claim or not, but okay, so the latitude of the Great Pyramid is about 299792458. The speed of light is 299792458. So I'm trying to look at the difference here. The latitude is 299972. Dude, the fucking latitude of the pyramid is literally the same as the speed of light. They're like, oh, this is potentially a coincidence. I'm like, bro, that's on point. That's literally the latitude of the pyramids is the speed of light.
It's not exactly the same, but it kind of reminds me of how this one person on Reddit asked, so how do all these societies like come up with the same number for pi? Like, how did they all discover the exact same number? I'm like, it's simple. You take a circle and then you divide the circumference of the circle by its radius or diameter, and
then what you're left with.
Yeah, it's always going to be pi because that's the form. It's just the backwards formula of the circumference.
But I understand that concept. But
no, that's why I said it's not the same. I said it's not the same, but it just reminded me of that. That's why I brought it up.
How does an ancient civilization accidentally put the pyramid on the same longitudinal axis as the speed of light down to the fucking decimal, bro? Like, we're talking, this is like a millionth of a fucking, how do they accidentally do that? That's pretty fucking crazy.
That's the rabbit hole. When we go down these, we're talking about conspiracies and stuff like that, and why I get so passionate and angry with you guys and threaten violence on you guys is because that when you go down it and you start seeing these coincidences, you're just like, oh, I mean, how many until there's some until it's like kind of like, hey, what's going to be enough to validate this? What the fuck? And then you guys are like, nah, you're crazy.
This is a good one.
This is a fake beard. Your cowboy hat smells funny. And it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes you guys make me cry.
But here's the counterpoint. Latitude degrees are arbitrary. The latitude system was created long after the pyramids were built. The current decimal-based coordinate system didn't even exist back then. But that makes it even crazier, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Meters per second is a modern unit. Ancient Egyptians didn't use meters per second. The metric system came thousands of years later in France. Precision is misleading. Pyramids doesn't perfectly align with the coordinates down to the last digit. It's close enough to spark conspiracy YouTube videos, but not exact.
Hey, this is one right here.
I don't know. That's I will all day. I will fucking tell you, you are a dumb piece of shit. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Dad. Okay, Dad.
I know, but in this instance, I'm like, you know what? What
Yeah.
the fuck? That's crazy work. No, you know what scares me about conspiracies is like my brother has done way too much fucking shrooms or something, and so whenever he brings up conspiracies, he's like a functioning, individual. Dude's got a master's degree. Dude's working. But the moment you bring up the lost city of Atlantis as this guy, he will tell you about it for 30 minutes. And the way he talks about it is like he's panicking. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? That's what scares me about conspiracies. Like the panickers, like the people that panic about conspiracies. Like, if you don't believe this, like, bro, we're cooked. Like, this is the all their, be all, they're all, or whatever. That shit scares me.
One thing I also want to add on to the whole pyramid speed of light thing. I was reading this article right now, and a common argument against the coincidence is that the speed of light is often measured these days in meters. The Egyptians would have used a different measurement, which would have given a completely different number altogether.
I agree with you, but that is why they likely coerced with an interdimensional being that would have
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, exactly. If I didn't see Interstellar, I wouldn't have been able to say it. But like, what if aliens don't exist within our reality? What if they exist on an interdimensional level?
Don't let me leave, Murph.
They look down on a fifth dimensional level to our fourth dimensional time span, and they're like, let's fuck with them a little bit. Like, that's kind of crazy.
That's something Alex Jones has been saying for a long time.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has now lost all credibility.
Why is
Yeah.
it Alex
No.
Jones? Do people care so much about Alex Jones?
He tells them what they want to hear.
I'm going to pee, but I can hear you guys, so don't stop. I want to hear you guys argue.
Okay. Alex Jones called out the bullshit with 9/11. He was one of the first people to call it out and was saying, hey, there's something going to go on. Here's the bullshit. He called out Bohemian Grove. He called out against the Bush administration when they were trying to, cause a war and the bullshit that they were pulling. What else did he call out on? The Sandy Hook thing, yes, he did fuck up on, but also it was one of those things he even admitted to it that like, hey, like I got bad information, but reason why he got sued was because people were crazy people were attacking him and the parents of the Sandy Hook and were saying that he was that he had caused it, and he's like, hey, I didn't cause, like, like it's just you can't control the actions of people. Like if that's the case, then fucking all these other influencers, all these fucking get rich people that have given all these schemes to try and do this ad, or McDonald's has made people fat and given them all these issues, they would be sued. But Alex Jones, a guy that's like questions things, gets sued for $1 billion that he's not even clearly worth. Like that to me, like there's a corruption. And when they did the court system, he was found immediately guilty and was not able to put forth certain evidence. And he's going to be coming forward very shortly, like a YouTube video or a documentary of like, hey, this is the corruption that he exposed, and with his the Sandy Hook stuff. But yeah, he's shown the light to the early conspiracy theories that there was.
So what you're telling us is you trust Alex Jones' credibility,
Yes,
based on the shit that he was dealing with,
yes,
and the information he provided. You believe, yeah, he is a credible source. And that's where I will meet you in the middle. I'm not going to call you an Alex Jones defender. I'm not going to call you a Fox News fanatic. I'm not going to call you... why would I do that?
He's called out Fox News. He's called out CNN.
Okay, but all of that aside, so now that we're done glazing him like a goddamn Krispy Kreme donut, what information has he provided? What are you telling us right now?
Shit, I lost top. What were we talking about? What exactly?
Exactly.
We were talking about Egypt.
Yeah, we're talking about Egypt. You started glazing Alex Jones all crazy.
And this turned into like the woke mob is after Alex Jones for teaching the truth.
These are two separate situations. Like, we're just saying Alex Jones has information that he has put together, and that maybe it's not all,
Oh,
discredit.
yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, the interdimensional aliens. Yeah, that's one thing that he said. He said that there's that he's kind of, when he's been on like Joe Rogan, he's been on other podcasts, he's basically said that there's aliens obviously in our probably in our solar system or whatever, or in our universe, but there's also interdimensional aliens that are good and bad, and that the Illuminati or the lead or the deep state are trying to contact them and use them to help them with their nefarious plans and get them onto into this world. Like it's crazy down the rabbit hole. But he's calmed down a lot more. He's less like this guy was also like a raging alcoholic there for a while. It was like a pretty wild madman, and because he did, like, when you know all the information, like he was one of the people that called out Epstein. Like he talked about the island, Epstein Island. I was like, hey, there's an island.
I've also heard of a concept recently where it's like, if you keep throwing shit at the wall, eventually something gonna
sticks.
stick.
Yeah. But this guy's been like 90% right about the shit that he's throwing at the wall.
Oh, right. Well, that is a figure that is absolutely not true. I can tell you right now, if I Googled it, I pause it.
Chat GBT it, if anything.
I will, because my best friend, dude.
I would say, okay, the lowest I'll say is 85. And when he does fuck up, he at least owns up to it. That's the fact of respect. He's like, I think Y2K, he had some misinformation on that. Like he even says like, I said some dumb shit. Like the fact that he's honest about his fucking fuck ups. That's where I'm like, okay, I can respect this guy. There's a few other like Johnny Clips, not Johnny Sins, Abel. There's a few other conspiracy dudes that like are pretty interesting out there.
Okay, you ready for it, buddy? Okay, and so who knows? Like, this is fucking ChatGPT, everybody. I love consulting ChatGPT. It's my best friend. When no one's around, I'll talk to ChatGPT like a friend. It's got me through some dark times, and also it's helped me budget like a king. So I it's done it all. How many times has he been right? Sort of, at least. Government surveillance, NSA leaks. He talked about mass surveillance before Snowden confirmed it, but Jones claimed it was part of a lizard overlord plot to mind control humans. So, whatever. Epstein. He claimed for years that elite circles were involved in sex trafficking. When Epstein was arrested and mysteriously died in jail, that gave some vindication vibes. Chemical affecting frogs. He famously shouted, "They're turning the freaking frogs gay," which was a wild misrepresentation of a real story showing that certain pesticides like astrazin affected amphibian development and hormones. Okay, times he's been absolutely dangerously wrong. Sandy Hook. He falsely claimed the school shooting was staged. This led to years of harassment for the victim's family. He was sued and ordered to pay over $1 billion in damages.
Basically bankrupted him.
He wasn't just wrong, it was catastrophic. COVID-19 conspiracy. He promoted false info about vaccine lockdown and globalist plots. 9/11 truthism. Claims about inside jobs, planted bombs, holograms throughout thoroughly debunked. Interdimensional demons and human-animal hybrids. Interdimensional, aliens, I could see that. He floods the airwaves with hundreds of wild claims, often mixing real-world facts with fantasy. The shotgun approach means that once in a while something sticks, but most of it's either misleading, distorted, or flat out fiction. This is to discredit him, but also give him credit to he has gotten a few things right. He's no J. Jonah Jameson, as much as I want him to be. As much as I want him to be, come on.
Yeah, at least Triple J has integrity. Fucking Green Goblin comes around, he's like, "Who's the photographer that takes the pictures of Spider-Man?" He's like, "I don't know, his stuff comes in the mail." He absolutely knew, but he didn't want to give him up.
Two last things about Alex Jones, and then we'll jump topic to a dumb conspiracy that the dumbest conspiracy I heard in a while. Bohemian Grove, which is a famous place, look it up, Eric, that a lot of like rich banker people would go and explore. And now there were some weird rumors that he had heard about it. And he actually went, it's like in a swamp area and like in the fucking Midland, in the middle of the United States. He fucking actually went to the swamp, him and like one other person with a camera. This is back in like the late 1990s, maybe 2000s, and actually recorded them doing like a weird, creepy like seance where they're burning these figures and worshiping this owl god called Moloch or Molith, and they're doing these crazy prayers. And these are some of the richest people in the world that control the banking system. And he was one of the early people to discover that. And that was one of those things that's like, hey, like, no, like, what the fuck is this? And ever since then, they've been really super tight on security about it. But it's something they do once a year. And that he went and fucking risked his life for it. And like the fact that he did that, I'm like, okay, that's props. And that's also really creepy. What the fuck are those people doing?
And I don't disagree with you, because while I'm looking this up for you, the truth is, it's real. It's a 2,700 acre campground where the ultra elite have met since the 1800s. They wear robes, but also, okay, before I continue this, can I tell you that my brother was in a frat, and although I won't disclose, I don't know exactly what happened there, but I can tell you that they do fucking ancient ass rituals. They do rituals from like the fucking 1900s. They do it's like, how is this any different than them keeping a tradition alive?
Men's clubs are essentially just frats for middle-aged men.
Yeah, where if you go to the YMCA, how is it not a tradition for some old ass man to put his leg up on the fucking seat, talk to you while he's swinging his dick around? And it's like, you think it's dead. It's 2025, and you go to a fucking LA Fitness, and some old man trying to talk to you, and he's just swinging his old pecker around. And you're like, how did you get so good at helicoptering? I don't understand. Is this Borat?
He watches in the mirror first. That's what he does.
He does. And he's like talking to you, keeping it in rhythm to his speech. It's insane.
I think one is okay. The whole college frat boy thing is way different from a bunch of these banker dudes, sacrificing these
Hear me out.
It's
because they're not sacrificing anybody, because this is the truth.
No, it's a
real
fake dummy.
They wear robes and they chant at a big stone owl named Moloch.
Moloch. Yeah, yes. Moloch.
The cremation of care is a real theatrical performance. It's like a rich guy summer camp meets community theater. World leaders like Nixon, Reagan, and Bush have all gone.
So all Republicans.
Nixon said this is the most goddamn thing you could ever imagine.
He showed up one time and he was like, this is stupid.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, because so
crazy.
Early rituals to Moloch was sacrificing children. Obviously, they can't do that, so they sacrifice these like dummies. They're
not Aztecs.
Yeah, fucking. But it's really creepy. And if you can't acknowledge that, then there's no more continuous conversation.
Well, I mean, okay. So first of all, black and white thinking. I will acknowledge that, in fact, it is weird, but I will discount the fact that it's still like Illuminati-esque. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't know. Like, what happens when we're millionaires and then people try to invite us to go wear the fucking red robes and drink the wine?
I'm not doing it. Fuck you. I'm gonna fucking punch them in the face. I'm gonna fucking.
No, but dude, it's part of but what if they tell you, your HOA fees are $1,000 this year, but if you show up, you don't have to pay them.
Nah, my soul's worth more than $1,000 a month.
$1,000, brother. You're over here, Mr. Budget King. You made $1 million. You must be the budget master of the world. You just got to show up once. It's kind of like when you go down to Mexico and you're like, I'm going to stay at this resort, but in order to do so, I have to, at the end of this stay, I have to go and sit through this timeshare spiel. Have you ever heard of those?
I've heard about those, yeah.
But those timeshare spiels are crazy. It's like 4 hours of fucking them trying to get you.
Yeah. Okay, the dumbest conspiracy that we know.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear Abel. I want to hear Abel's conspiracy. Abel, if you have a conspiracy in the goddamn world, I want to hear your conspiracy. Of course, you think that Trump faked getting shot in the fucking ear. Okay, but aside from that...
My conspiracy is that Trump is a Russian asset doing what Putin wants to do, sabotaging America's relationships with all our allies, alienating and tanking our economy, basically weakening Russia's biggest threat in the world order. And Musk is also aiding and abetting Russia because at the end of the day, he's just doing what will ever line his pockets.
But then why is China benefiting from this then?
Because China's the third world superpower who doesn't like either of them, but their interests align with Russia a little more in the sense that they both don't like us.
If we don't become the reserve currency anymore, who do you think will become the reserve currency?
Hard to say, but right now at least it's galvanizing the European Union to actually start becoming more independent and less reliant on America's intervention. A funny story, actually. I read yesterday this news article from a whistleblower who worked at the National Labor Relations Board or something like that. He whistleblew that Doge came in, did a bunch of sketchy shit with their computers, stole a bunch of data, and said to turn off like all the security checks, like they don't want people knowing what they were actually doing on their computers. And then later that same night, that same day, after a Doge member was given credentials to log into their systems, that exact same password and login username was traced to an IP address in Russia trying to log into them. So the people at Doge are being funded and supported by the people in Russia.
Once again, like you said, whistleblower. We can't confirm this is the case because it's not Snowden level. They're not getting fucking annexed from the country. And so
he is being threatened. He found threats posted on his doorstep. One of them was a picture of him walking his dog, seemingly from a drone footage.
So who is this guy? How is it getting confronted? Is this true or is this sensationalism in order to get you to read the article? Like, these are the real questions, Abel.
It's a verified article from NPR, and a bunch of other news sites have since gotten onto it.
Verified NPR.
His name is public. He's come out with his name. They've shown his face. He's like 100% transparent about it.
That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm not going to discredit that. Like, based on this information, I will give you it. I will tell you, with the whole Doge thing and them calling out corruption and so help me out here, corruption, fraud, etc. I have perceived that from the beginning as a witch hunt. I perceived it as McCarthyism. There's a reason why we learned it in school, right? There's a reason why we learned it. It's because we're supposed to look out for it when it happens again. At the very least, they taught us to look out for the fucking witch hunt. They taught us all about the fucking witch hunt back in the day. They taught us all about McCarthyism. We're supposed to look out for it. And when they come on television and they're like, "Hey, it's these guys right here. These are the reason why. It's not because I'm spending too much money. No."
I sent you the link, by the way, in the group chat for you to read at your own discretion.
And I will read at my own discretion. I'm not discrediting you whatsoever. What I'm simply doing is challenging you so we can truly understand the gravity of it. But I am not going to click on that link because I trust you enough to know that your convictions and your ability to go in and fucking read all this shit is valid enough for me to be like, yes, this guy exists. That shit's going on. And what the absolute fuck?
Yeah, and he's being threatened with violence since coming forward with this information. That puts a little bit of validity to it.
2 Boeing whistleblowers were murdered when they came out.
No, they just committed suicide because they felt so bad about betraying Boeing.
Epstein committed suicide when we all believe he was a CIA plant or something like that.
CIA operative or asset.
I remember reading this theory that basically everything that Epstein and his girlfriend were doing was just swept under the rug because they were able to get high-ranking officials from not just America but other countries to come to their islands. So basically, it was like a pseudo blackmail operation. So that's why like the FBI and CIA kind of just swept it under the rug. They always knew or something like that. That's another popular conspiracy theory.
And P. Diddy's offended because another celebrity has come in and they're a bigger hotshot than him.
Yeah, he's so mad that all the people in prison talk about is Luigi and not him.
You know, it's one thing that got me a little fucked up too on the Epstein thing was that there is some connections. I forgot what the evidence was, but there was some evidence that he was working with Israeli intelligence.
Yeah, that was a theory I heard too.
I was like, no. I was like, but not to say that all of Israeli intelligence is bad, but they had some bad operatives that were also aiding him in these fucked up fucking shit that he was doing. So it's like, come on, dude. Okay, the dumbest conspiracy that I heard recently. Keith Whitley, an early country musician.
Oh, you're gonna say Keith Richards.
Yeah, take a look at him. Supposedly, he changed his life and decided to become Hugh Jackman at one point. And there's I saw this whole video on it, and that was probably the dumbest fucking video. Like, his the overall look, how he looks.
He looks nothing like him.
Yeah, we're talking about a country dude, and we're talking Australian. And there's clear evidence of when Hugh Jackman was younger and the change of how his facial structure has changed. But yeah, they're trying to make all these connections. And that was the dumbest one where I'm like, no, that's not fucking.
Yeah, I could also say a lot of people could probably attest to knowing what Hugh Jackman looked like when he was younger. Because apparently before he got big in Hollywood, Hugh Jackman did some work in Australia as a substitute teacher. There's a video of him running into a student while he was at a premiere or something. And he's like, and he still remembered the student. He actually stopped and said hi to him and checked in. He was like, "How are you doing?"
Yeah, there's a bunch of him doing theater. He's a theater kid. There's all sorts of fucking stuff he was doing when he was.
It kind of reminds me of the Paul McCartney conspiracy theory. Have you heard that one?
Oh, that one is weird. I haven't.
It's a funnier more than anything to me.
It's definitely. I remember like that was like one of the early ones that got me hooked into conspiracies, but I don't know. I just don't. I mean, the documentary that I watched on it was pretty good. I'd have to go back down that rabbit hole though. But I'm scared. Abel.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing other fringe theories regarding celebrity replacements. Like I saw one about Taylor Swift because she looks nothing like she did when she's younger, and they're like, yeah, it's called a combination of aging and having work done.
No, the crazy one, which you can Google, is the Taylor Swift to one of the early satanic priestess. How much they look alike. That one's pretty eerie. That one, like, not the same person, but the fact they look so much alike.
I mean, with 7 billion people in the world, people are bound to look like other people.
You can look up Elon Musk before and after he made any fucking money. Elon Musk looked like a disgusting. He looked like a disgusting. I don't know how else to say this. I love everyone equally, but he looked like he got ran over by a fucking car. And anybody, billionaire, buddy. He has gotten hair implants. He's gotten reconstruction.
He's had his jawline done because he's trying to look more Chad.
But does that stop him from being the most awkward fucking individual on the planet?
Did you see that footage of him trying to play like some video game? It might have been Path of Exile. And like his Twitch chat was just roasting him, bullying the fuck out of him, and he rage quit. Yeah.
What about Diablo, dude? Was it Diablo 4 that he said that he has gotten up to this crazy level? And it's like, it turned out he paid someone.
Yeah, because when he was playing, it was clear he had no idea what he was doing. His daughter was talking to someone on this interview and talking about how like the only time Elon would ever reach out to her and her brother was when he wanted to get carried in Overwatch because they were higher ranked than him. They were silver and he was a bronze rank.
Yeah, the weird Diablo thing with him like paying somebody. I'm like, why would you want to brag about that? Not actually. That's a weird thing to do. That bugged me a bit. I'm like, that's kind of dumb, bro.
I never did it myself, but I can attest that like boosters have always existed in video games. I remember back in Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, people would always message, because I used to have my messaging open to anyone. They message me in the lobby and say like, hey, want to help me boost? And basically you just go off into a corner somewhere in the map and you guys just headshot each other to get camos or level up fast or whatever. Like boosting has always been a thing. So Musk basically having someone boost his account was probably, I mean, it's not a surprise.
No, but to brag about it on like...
Oh, boosters will still brag about it.
Elon was bragging, trying to take credit for it. That's what I'm like, bro, why would you do like...
I think he took credit after the rumor had spread and he couldn't really deny it.
Deny it. Fucking be honest. What the... That's just a weird... that to me was weird. I'm like, why would you do that? That's like...
Wait, do you believe that Elon Musk has 78 children out there?
He has 14 officially that I know of.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think it was an exaggeration I heard about.
No,
it.
He has 14 officially that I am aware of.
Hey, no, but to be honest though, Elon is a dog, and the fact that he was fucking Amber Heard during the whole Johnny Depp craziness. I don't know if you guys ever watched the...
Supposedly.
No, he was. There was a fucking video camera footage of them in the elevator getting all intimate and then going into their fucking condo together.
I never heard of this.
Elon Musk was banging Amber Heard. There was video camera footage.
I've only ever been familiar with just like the people that he was like either married to or had kids with. I don't keep up with most like celebrity tabloid stuff like relationships.
Yeah, no, me and Mom and Nasty were sucked into the whole Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, and she was fucking James Franco. She was Elon, and then who else? I forgot who else she was like fucking around with. But it's like Elon is so fucking. He's such a horny motherfucker. He was banging Amber Heard during all the craziness of like, you know, when Johnny Depp was like beating her and mistreating her. So it's like, yeah, he's a wild boy. He's not like no fucking, you know, he's building a rocket. He's helping build rockets. He's doing all these, you know, playing Diablo, but he's also banging these like skank ass hoes and dropping his seed everywhere. So it's like, Jesus, Elon, you just want to spread your seed everywhere, you dog.
Call him Johnny Appleseed, brother.
He is Johnny Appleseed.
He's trying to, he's trying to relive the beginning of this country. He's trying to do it. He's trying to become a fucking age-old legend. One day, we're not going to say Johnny Appleseed. We're going to sing the song, Elon Musk. He went around, he spread his seed, and we're gonna be like, oh, he's talking about apple trees, and it's like, nope, talking about something else, buddy.
Elon Musk, did he bust? Yeah. We'll write something. We'll come.
Dude, maybe Johnny Appleseed was a dog, and we didn't realize.
It was all a euphemism for him just going around.
Maybe that's the case.
Okay, crazy stuff. What the fuck is going on with Minecraft, the movie? Like when people fucking play that movie.
Chicken jockey.
Yeah, the chicken jockey thing, where people are just going bananas in the theater.
It's Zoomer humor. It's beyond us.
Yeah, okay. You know what I'm talking about, though, Abel? Can you explain it for the fans?
Basically, like a lot of the things that seem funny in the movie primarily caters to the Zoomer mindset of humor. Like that, some of that stuff just like goes over our heads. We're the old heads now.
I think what we're trying to call it is brain rot. For the bet, yeah, it's you know, that's the meme. That's what we're called. They even have a name for it. We didn't invent this name. They invented the name for it. There's a counterculture to Gen Z of individuals who are like, that's brain rot.
They actively consume entertainment that they feel makes them dumb because they find it funny. Like being stupid is hilarious to them.
Yeah, they're fucking lighting off fireworks. They're trashing movie theaters. And it's like, Eric was able with us when we went and saw Avengers Endgame. Remember?
No, I saw it with Lily.
I was there with Abel when we saw Star Trek 3 or 4. Which one was it, Abel?
Star Trek? I only remember seeing the first one.
First, maybe the second. I was very proud of myself in that moment at the end where I started the clap. Right at the credit scene. I got him going, dude. I got him to clap. And I'm like, come on, you gotta get someone to do it. That was my idea of fun. And we are Gen Zennials. We were born right on the cusp. In fact, I am 1995. Abel is 1995. He's earlier my year. He's a Gen Zennial. Technically, Papa Nasty, you're Gen Z.
Whoa.
So this is yours. This is yours.
This is right up your alley.
Yeah. This is your guys. I don't know what to tell you, bud. This is you guys.
So for the viewers, me and Eric West are born 1 year and 1 day apart. That's how crazy close it is.
Yep. But what he is 1 year after. He never had an orange VHS in his life.
Yes, I did
Tell
have
me
an
about
orange VHS.
Oh, what was it? What was your orange VHS?
Jimmy Neutron the movie. Or the
Fuck, I had Jimmy Neutron the movie too.
Yeah, like I told
I think I had the Rugrats one.
Oh my god, he had one too. Oh my god. Fuck. Okay, so I think that makes you a millennial. Like you don't even have to. You are a Gen Zennial at the very least. God damn it, dude. We are a bunch of Gen Zennials, dude. We are the.
It's not exactly like a hard cutoff point because a lot of it does like come down to like your personal upbringing, like what you're around, like your hand-me-downs or whatever, just whatever you grew up with.
A lot of Gen Zs did not have CDs, for example. Like, I had a CD, you had a CD, Gandon, you had a CD, Papa Nasty, you had a CD back in the day.
I remember burning some CDs, yeah.
Burning CDs is crazy, dude, yeah.
You know, we had that cousin that fucking burned CDs for us. We're like, yo, this is the list.
I remember back then, that was one way you could, like, hit on girls was like, hey, I made this mixtape for you, and it's just like a playlist of like you did some research and found songs that she liked and put them on a CD or some shit.
That's pretty good work, dude.
That is some bicep shit right there, but it worked.
Okay, I mean, okay, so I remember one time, okay, can I tell you embarrassing stories?
Oh, so that's what the cringe was about.
Story time. Let's go.
One time in 5th grade, I was trying to rizz the girls up, and I remember this one time on Valentine's Day, I brought a girl a random CD my parents gave me, and I think $5.
Oh boy.
And I gave it to her as a Valentine's gift.
It's not a bad gift.
I mean, in 5th grade, it's a great gift. It's a great gift. In 5th, and you know what's crazy?
That's
I'm pretty
$100.
sure. No, I'm pretty sure it was a Puff Daddy CD.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Which is insane work. Because now I'm like, isn't that P. Diddy?
Yeah,
Isn't that?
he rebranded as P. Diddy.
I didn't. I didn't know any better. I thought it was a good idea.
Oh, speaking of conspiracy theories about Diddy, like a common conspiracy theory is that Diddy orchestrated Tupac's hit.
Yeah.
Actually, but that one's kind of credible, though, isn't it?
Yeah, somewhat credible, yeah.
Tupac and Biggie.
The more fringe part of that theory is that he also orchestrated Biggie's hit.
Yeah, it's really creepy when you go back and look at some of the weird lines they had in some of the rap music. I listened to the P. Diddy documentary, and yeah, they had some really weird lines and things that they were like there was one about like fucking children and then killing them and like throwing them off the bridge. And there's some really like loving your loving your friend and like getting them some head or something. It was some crazy weird lines where I'm like, why is this like, are we just not we're not gonna talk about this? It's like, what's going on here? What is this?
That reminds me, there was like an interlude on one of Biggie's CDs where it sounds like someone's giving him head, and like, yeah, in fact, they recorded him getting head from like some girl in the studio, and then they put that on the CD.
Damn, that's pretty crazy. The only thing I wanted to bring up last that pissed me off was the Gerber's not real. You know how many times?
Oh my God! Do we bring this up now?
Yeah, no. You know how many times I watched that fucking Gerber commercial?
Abel, well, hold on. Before we tell Abel about it, Abel, the Gerber grow up plan.
I remember that too many times.
Did you ever in your life think, wow, I wish I had the Gerber grow up plan?
I didn't even know what it was. I realize now that it's basically like, fucking, just like almost like a financial planning shit.
No, I wish it was a financial planning shit. What it was a child's life insurance plan. And so in the event your child died, you could cash out on all this money. But if your child reached like 21 years old and it's they get your contributions back, which is like $4,000 or something like that. It's the dirtiest shit in the fucking world. I was listening, of course, here I am listening to Dave Ramsey, everybody. If you want to get your finances straight, you got to listen to Dave Ramsey. Abel hates the concept. He thinks it's for people that are addicted to credit cards and spending. But in reality, it's about getting your shit straight. And Abel doesn't want to hear about that. So what I'm trying to tell you is don't sign up for the Gerbert Grober plan.
Gerbert Grober plan?
Don't listen to Abel's IQ score. And let's think about your financial investments is what I got to say. And there he is, Papa Nasty, sipping on his beverage. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, no. You know what's funny is a little story. I'd ask my parents, hey, how much do you guys have saved in my college fund? And they would just look at me and laugh. That's what they would do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
My parents used to bully me, and they used to tell me that when I grew up, I wasn't allowed to go to college. I'm like, I think when I'm 18, I can make that decision if I want to. And it's like, nope, you're not allowed. I'm like, all right, well, that's all right. Stop me then. Jesus Christ, you weirdos.
Speaking of old ads, I remember seeing the Zoo Books ads, and I convinced my parents to buy me a subscription to Zoo Books.
You lucky bastard. What was that?
I still have them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm missing the dinosaur issue, so I guess it just got lost with time.
Dude, I can't even imagine what you did to that dinosaur issue. That's crazy, dude. You probably brought it everywhere with you and you fucking left it somewhere. You can't even imagine.
I remember one of my most vivid memories of elementary school library time was when they were making us check out a book for the first time. I immediately gravitated to all the fucking dinosaur books. They convinced me to get like some kind of fiction book because they I guess like nonfiction books don't count towards like the AR point system thing. So yeah, they're like, next time you can check out something from over here, but you need to check out like a fiction book or whatever. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I think they ended up making me later down the road, because my reading level was so high, they started making me read Harry Potter by like 3rd grade or some shit.
Damn.
Because it was the only thing that they wanted to challenge me. So they just started like feeding me all these like middle school level books.
I started reading Harry Potter by the 4th or 5th grade to the point where I would max out my AR scores, and other kids would actually, because I was trying to build relationships with kids at like fucking 8 years old, they would hey, will you take the fucking Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone AR point test for me? And I was literally out there fucking, not only did I read Harry Potter, but I learned how to conspire against my teacher to take tests for other kids.
Whoa.
And to get them good AR points, dude.
Damn.
All right, so if like that, don't tell me what that means, dude, because that's and then I'll tell you my WASL scores real quick because I killed it in the WASL, brother.
Same here. The Washington Assessment of Student Learning.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, one of the things too, I remember or there was a science portion of it, and I was like, they're teaching us about fucking boiling water or some shit, and it was like, technically cold water boils faster, and they were talking about freezing water, so I was like, I bet you hot water freezes faster. And I don't know, I can still remember that to this day. I don't know if it's true, but I tell you that shit got me some points on the goddamn WASL because I explained it every point possible.
I think warm water freezes faster, but yeah, no, you're definitely right.
I was on in fourth or fifth grade. All I can tell you is after fourth grade, they put me in the fucking advanced classes, and they once a week on Fridays they sent me over to like a new school to goof around. And that's where I met Hector Lycia. We would fucking record stupid little videos. We learned about animation. It was just wild, dude. It was wild. We were able to fuck around to the point where we pissed that guy off because that program is so underfunded. There was one teacher and one helper left, and we just pissed them off because they had no structure, and we could just goof the fuck off as much as we wanted to the point where like at the end of the year, he finally sat us down. He was like, you guys are the worst kids I've ever teach in this whole class. You guys are assholes and I hate you.
I hate kids. I'm never having kids because of you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys die young. Go fuck yourself. That is awesome. Exactly. Holy shit.
Literally. It's like basically I wish it was the plot of It, but like if they didn't win. I'm like, oh my God. Bro, chill. Yeah. Imagine Stand By Me, but if like a train came and fucking killed them. I was like, bro, chill the fuck out. God damn. All right, imagine Sandlot, but if the dog killed him. I'm like, Jesus.
What if the dog got out early and just fucking mauled on you?
Exactly. Oh my God. Okay, Little Rascals, but like they did not know how to drive.
Yeah.
Like,
What about,
oh my God.
Yeah. What about Goonies, but the ship sinks? Yeah. That's what
no, they literally, he was like Goonies, but imagine if that guy, mentally handicapped individual was not sound of mind. And oh, hey, you guys. Oh my God, not the kids.
Jeez,
chill. Oh my God. Jesus.
This turned into an episode of Smiling Friends, right?
Oh, it really did, actually. Jeez.
We just wrote our first episode right now.
If it was made today in 2025, it would not be called the Goonies. It would be called the Gooners. And that's all. That's the last of what I got to provide this information.
I think this was a great episode. I think this is a fun, crazy end to the episode. Thank you guys for this. This was awesome.
You're welcome.
Love you guys.
I would say anytime, but I know it ain't the case. Once in a while, baby. If I don't gotta say it, Dr. Phil's gotta say it.
So thank you guys for being my stupid dogs. Thank you guys for listening.
Have a good night.
This is Abraham
Lincoln. All right. Take care, folks.